Greetings, this is the Question GM for RPG Day 2020, day 27, and the word of the day is favor. Pretty strange word. Actually, it's quite interesting now that I think about it. The word favor is that I've not actually really used favor as a part of social interactions between PCs and NPCs. Typically, NPCs hire the PCs, an adventuring party to do a particular quest, and then they get paid for it. It's a service. Rarely have I dealt in terms of favors, like if you do something for me and I'll do something for you back in return. And this is not even on a you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours sort of basis. This is a matter of transaction, or this is also how we can actually expand the story, or maybe progress whatever threads that we've been deciding on using favors. Yeah, this is something that I think I will definitely be thinking about and exploring a bit more. I've not really been able to really come into any real mindset where this can be very useful, because I just started thinking about it. But I think rather than using monetary rewards, I think favor is something that has a lot more potential in the sense that than a monetary transaction, which is like a done deal, like I do this and you get this amount. Favors on the other hand can be exchanged, and it can, and I think I can sort of see the potential in a more like sandbox game where there's no, where if the PCs want to move in a certain direction, then they will probably need to like gain favors out of whatever NPCs that can help them get the thing that they want, in terms of progression, not necessarily in terms of reward. Maybe this is something that's more intriguing in a political game. It's definitely more about that relationship of favors doing favors that can definitely help each other's agenda going in different ways, which wherever the PCs want to. I think that's definitely something for other GMs to think about. Rather than always giving a reward, why not offer favors and see how your players react to it. In some cases, I think players, or who knows how to play with their words, I think they can really twist the meaning of favors that they get out of. But I think one good way we can sort of study how favors is used is probably most recently from Game of Thrones. There's a lot of political maneuverings that uses favors to really sort of help each other out, and sometimes turning enemies into friends and then turning them back into enemies the next day. It's definitely something that is a lot more subtle and a lot more delicate, but I think is pretty much a lot more interesting. And this is definitely something that can be done in a fantasy role-playing game as much as a sci-fi game. Depending how much political intrigue that is set in the game in itself. So favor in itself can be some sort of currency. Now that I think about it, maybe they can be some sort of mechanic that can be tied to how much of a favor you can ask from players. And in some ways, D&D actually has this covered in terms of the attitudes. Favors can be something like a core mechanic of a certain kind of RPG, maybe one that doesn't even involve combat at all. The idea is to try to get the best favors out of every situation that you can get in, and that will contribute to whatever it is that you want out, the final end of the gameplay loop before it reads a repeat that you have to use favors all over again. Definitely interested to see if there's anyone has any recommendations for RPGs that uses any kind of favor mechanic. I think I'll be interested to read to see how this is used in the context of the RPG. And I think an RPG that actually has a mechanics for favor is definitely something that's going to be quite interesting in itself, now that I'm going along in this train of thought. So I guess that'll be all. I'm sorry this is not necessarily a fruitful discussion in my other videos, but because this is an entirely new topic and a new perspective and a new mindset that I have not they'll probably be thinking a lot more down the road, and hopefully maybe I can come up with something more interesting next time. So that'll be all for RPG A Day 2020, day 27 for Favour. And do me a favor and let me know what your thoughts are.